Most traders never stop to ask themselves this question when they choose a strategy. Can you emotionally survive losing 8 trades in a row multiple times per year? Because with a 3-to-1 risk-reward system, that isn't bad luck, that's normal. And that single reality is one of the biggest reasons retail traders fail, while professional firms quietly operate in a completely different way. Despite what YouTube gurus repeat like scripture, professional trading firms do not obsess over 3-to-1 risk-reward ratios. Yet retail traders are taught that this is the golden rule of trading, that risking $1 to make 3 is somehow the smartest and safest path. Today, I want to explain why that advice, while sounding intelligent on the surface, quietly sets traders up for psychological breakdowns, equity curve chaos, and blown prop firm challenges, and why what works on paper often collapses in real execution. You've heard the rule 1,000 times. Your risk reward should be at least 2-to-1, ideally 3-to-1 or better. The math sounds flawless. If you risk $100 to make $300, you only need to win 25% of the time to break even. The calculation is correct, but the conclusion is useless. Trading does not happen in spreadsheets. It happens in real time, with real money, real emotions, and real losing streaks. What actually matters is how a system behaves over weeks and months of execution, and what it does to your confidence, discipline, and decision-making. When you look at that reality instead of the spreadsheet, tighter risk-reward systems don't just compete with 3-to-1 systems, they dominate them. One thing trading educators rarely talk about is losing streaks, not 1 or 2 losses, but extended stretches where nothing works and every trade stops you out. These streaks are not rare, they are mathematically guaranteed. How often they happen depends entirely on your win rate. Let's compare 2 traders, Emma and Daniel. Emma trades a 1-to-1 risk-reward system and risks $100 to make $100. Her win rate is 55%. That's not amazing, it's just slightly better than average. Daniel trades a 3-to-1 system, risking $100 to make $300 with a 35% win rate. On paper, both systems can be profitable, but paper doesn't experience stress. Humans do. Daniel loses 65% of his trades, meaning he loses almost 2 out of every 3. That guarantees frequent losing streaks. 5, 6, 7, or 8 losses in a row are not black swan events for him. They are routine. Emma, on the other hand, wins more than she loses. Her losing streaks are shorter and less frequent. 3 or 4 losses in a row happen occasionally, but 8 or 10 are extremely rare. That difference matters far more than theoretical expectancy. Now look at what happens inside Daniel's head during one of those streaks. After 4 losses, doubt creeps in. After 7 losses, he starts questioning his rules. After 10 losses, he's scrolling forums, tweaking indicators, and wondering if the market has changed or if he should quit altogether. The worst part is that nothing is actually wrong with his strategy. It's behaving exactly as designed, but his brain doesn't understand that. His brain interprets repeated losses as danger and failure and demands immediate action. Emma rarely reaches that mental breaking point because her wins arrive frequently enough to stabilize her confidence before it collapses. This isn't just theory. Research analyzing thousands of retail traders found that after 5 consecutive losses, traders performed roughly 23% worse on subsequent trades, not because their strategy changed, but because their psychology did. Neuroscience explains why. Studies show that repeated losses trigger the same physiological response as a physical threat. Heart rate rises, adrenaline floods the body, and stress hormones spike. What matters most isn't the size of the loss, but how often losses occur without relief. A trader who occasionally loses big but wins regularly experiences moderate stress, while a trader who loses small amounts repeatedly experiences severe cognitive impairment. Your brain is not a calculator, it is a survival machine. There's also something called reward prediction error. Your brain releases dopamine not when you win, but when you win more than expected. High win rate systems create a stable reward environment that allows calm, rational thinking. Low win rate systems create dopamine droughts. Your brain keeps expecting a win that doesn't arrive over and over, which degrades decision-making. Studies show that repeated negative prediction errors reduce activity in the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for logic and discipline, while increasing activity in the amygdala, the fear center. In simple terms, extended losing streaks make traders more emotional and less intelligent in their decision-making. Then there's learned helplessness. Psychologist Martin Seligman demonstrated that when subjects experience repeated negative outcomes they cannot control, they eventually stop trying altogether. Traders experience the same effect. After enough consecutive losses, the brain begins to believe that actions don't matter. This leads either to paralysis or reckless revenge trading. This is where Daniel lives most of the time. Emma doesn't, because her wins arrive often enough to prevent psychological collapse. Now flip the situation and look at winning. Neuroscience describes something called the winner's effect. When an individual wins, testosterone increases, which improves confidence, pattern recognition, and risk assessment, making future wins more likely. Research conducted on professional traders showed that traders who had winning mornings demonstrated better decision-making throughout the day. Losing traders showed elevated cortisol, which impaired cognitive performance. Emma benefits from this effect consistently because she wins frequently. Daniel cannot sustain it because his wins are too infrequent and surrounded by losses. This psychological difference compounds into radically different equity curves. Emma's equity curve resembles a staircase with manageable pullbacks and visible progress. Daniel's equity curve looks like a roller coaster, long, painful drawdowns interrupted by occasional spikes. While both curves may trend upward in theory, only one is psychologically sustainable. There's even a metric called the ulcer index, designed to measure the emotional pain caused by drawdowns. Systems with lower win rates consistently score 2 to 3 times worse, meaning they cause significantly more stress over time. This difference becomes brutal in prop firm challenges. Imagine both traders are given a $100,000 account with a 10% drawdown limit. Both risk 1% per trade. Daniel's system statistically guarantees long losing streaks. 8 losses in a row puts him down 8%, dangerously close to failure, and that streak is normal for his win rate. Emma's worst drawdown is likely 4 to 5%, uncomfortable but manageable. Monte Carlo simulations consistently show higher win rate systems passing prop firm challenges far more often. Firms know this, which is why internally they prioritize consistency and volatility control, not flashy risk-reward ratios. There's also the trade frequency advantage. Daniel waits for rare 3-to-1 setups and may only take 8 to 12 trades per month. Emma finds 20 to 30 quality 1-to-1 opportunities. More trades mean more data, faster learning, and quicker adaptation to changing market conditions. Professionals understand this. Firms like Jane Street and DRW do not chase home runs. They prioritize high probability, repeatable edges with controlled risk. This doesn't mean 3-to-1 setups are always wrong. Context matters. In strong trends, higher time frames, or long-term position trades, wide targets make sense. But dogmatically forcing every trade into a 3-to-1 mold is a mistake. The real goal is not impressive ratios. It is sustainable execution. The truth is that the best risk-reward ratio is not the one with the highest theoretical expectancy. It is the one you can trade consistently without psychological collapse. Trading success is not about being right occasionally in big ways. It is about surviving long enough for your edge to compound. So stop chasing ratios that sound impressive and start building systems you can actually execute. Test honestly, respect your psychology, choose consistency over ego. Because the traders who win long term aren't the ones with the prettiest math. They're the ones still standing a year later.